Now to today's budget presentation by the President, Muhammadu Buhari, the 2021 budget. The figure is 13.08 trillion naira. Earlier, I spoke to an expert, the Chief Executive Officer of Financial Derivatives Company, Mr. Bismarck Rewane, on his views.
I think it's very realistic, to be honest with you. It's a bit conservative, and it could be more ambitious, but I think in principles of fiscal consolidation, this budget is realistic and can be accomplished.
Are you satisfied with the 3.8 trillion naira earmarked for capital expenditure as against the recurrent one of 5.6 trillion?
Ideally, no, that should be much higher. We should actually be at 40, 60. But the circumstances we find ourselves are that at this point in time, both recurrent expenditure, an increase in recurrent expenditure, and maintaining the 30% of capital expenditure would help to increase the stimulus to get the economy out of the current recession. So let me state clearly that this budget is based on the Keynesian principles of what we call counter-cyclical spending, which helps to bring economies out of a recession or a steep slowdown. But in this particular case, we also have the problem of inflation. So we have a stagflation situation, which is pretty unique. And therefore, I think it's adequate, two, it's realistic, and three, it actually is based on the principles of a stimulus, a fiscal stimulus.
Mr. Rewane, what should Nigerians expect in terms of the outcome of the budgets against the backdrop of the uncertainty in the global economic outlook?
First and foremost, what Nigerians should expect is that the recovery path is going to be hastened. In other words, you will not have a V-shaped recovery, but you will have a U-shaped recovery, which could have been worse if it went further down. That's one. Two, the stimulus in the area of capex, mainly the rail, the roads, the civil construction, and even the fiscal incentives, is going to help boost that activity, and then you'll have a multiplier effect, which will create some jobs. But the truth is that the total spending of this budget, both recurrent and capital, is only 8% of the GDP. So you need an aggressive and ambitious amount of spending by the states, all put together. But most important is the fact that we need private investment. The private investments will come when there's, one, some certainty about the exchange rate direction. Two, when the fiscal packages are well defined, like we have seen in the petroleum industry and government bill. And also, three, when the pricing of products is in the hands of the producers, not controlled and regulated by government agencies.
Finally, Mr. Rewane, you spoke earlier of the budget being a conservative one as against an ambitious one. But isn't it better to err on the side of caution?
Yes, it is. But the point is that when you are in a recession, right, you actually have to be more audacious and more ambitious. The risk of overspending and overheating your economy can be confronted by bringing up interest rates to moderate inflation. So in the end, one thing is clear. There are 5 things that you look at for a budget. How much are you spending? How much are you earning? What is the gap? And how is the gap going to be funded? And is this a proper tool for economic management? Those 5 factors have been considered in this particular budget. The truth is that the sweetness of the pudding, as they always say, is in eating, and we have to wait to see that happen.
Thank you so much for your expertise on these issues and for coming to speak with us on the News at 10.
Thank you for having me.